Okay, so for the second part of our demo for ray diagramming for curved mirrors, so this time this demo is for again for concave mirror, just in case yung reflected rays hindi sila nag-converge in front of the concave mirror. So I'm going to show you how you will extend. So it's very important that kung hindi nag-converge or nag-intersect yung actual reflected rays in front of the concave mirror, the next thing that you need to do is to try to extend it. Okay, you extend the reflected rays behind the mirror. Kasi baka nag-converge or they came from a common point behind the mirror. So that means kung they came from a common point behind the mirror, therefore it's a virtual image. So first thing is, again, let's draw the horizontal line. Okay, our principal axis, and we have to mark our vertex. Okay, and let's measure the focal length so that we can mark our focal point. So that would be 3 centimeters away from our vertex. And if we're going to double our focal length, we can mark our center of curvature, or we can use the value of our radius of curvature here, which is 6 centimeters. Okay, so let's draw our concave mirror. Okay, and the next thing is to measure the distance of the object. So here I have a different distance of object. It's actually, oh, okay, sorry, I wasn't able to change it. 2 centimeter. And for the height of the object, let's have 1 centimeter. Okay, from the mirror, so it's 2 centimeters. So we're gonna measure that and mark it here. So that would be this one. And let's measure the height of the object, which is just 1 centimeter. So we're gonna use again the arrow as our object. So let's label our ray diagram here. So let's have, this one is V, this one would be our distance of object, this is our focal point, and the center of curvature. And if I'm going to describe the location of our object, it is actually between F and V, or between the focal point and the vertex. That's the location of our object. So let's use the PF ray again. So let's have the P, the incident P ray, starting from the topmost part of our object and paired with our reflected ray, which will pass through the focal point. So this is our PF ray. Okay, let's have the VV ray on the topmost part of our object, the incident ray, moving towards the center, and it will be reflected. Same angle. Now notice that the actual reflected ray, they are actually moving divergently. So even if I'm going to extend it in front of the concave mirror, they will never converge in front of it. So this is what I'm talking about. So this is the part you have to extend the reflected rays behind the mirror, because it's very obvious that they came from a common point, which is behind the mirror. So I'm going to use broken red lines to represent, okay, the extension here of our reflected rays. Okay, so I'm going to align it with our reflected rays. Okay, and then same for the second reflected rays here. And it's very obvious, or you notice that the virtual reflected rays, they actually came from emerging point here. Okay, at this point here. Okay, and again, this is positive, this is negative. So if it was the converging can be seen at the positive side, and therefore you have to draw an upright image. Okay, label this is your image, And this is our object. Okay. So now we can describe our image. So if the image was formed behind the mirror, we can simply say behind the mirror. That's the location. Okay, or at the back of the mirror. For the orientation, they have the same orientation. Okay, the orientation of the image is the same with the object, then we would say it is upright. For the size, it's very obvious that the image is bigger than the object. So we would say the image is enlarged or bigger than the object. And for the type of image, since it was formed behind the mirror, then it is a virtual image. Okay? So again, we only extend, tandaan, we only extend yung reflected rays behind the mirror kapag hindi nagko-converge yung actual reflected rays in front. Okay? Pag hindi sila nagko-converge, kung pansinin nyo, hindi naman sila parallel rays, no? Hindi sila parallel reflected rays, therefore try to extend it. Okay? Baka kasi they came from a point behind the mirror. So, pag nangyaring ganon, ibig sabihin yung image mo, virtual image.